Right now, a new proposal in Janesville to turn recently vacant space in its mall into a new sports complex.
And a former priest learns his fate. A verdict is handed down in the high-profile case in Jefferson County.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. A proposed indoor sports complex could possibly be finding a home in an unconventional location.
Rock County reporter Adam Duxter tells us how the Janesville Mall is providing that opportunity. Adam?
Well, the Janesville Mall has lost several major retailers over the course of the last few years between Sears, JCPenney, and the Boston store. But tonight, those in the city of Janesville are seeing all that open space as an opportunity.
You've got something that's drawing people here. It's going to have people park here in the back.
As Gail Price walks the lots of the Janesville Mall,
Woodman's store, you've got some banks. Yeah, the Woodman's headquarters is right there.
he sees opportunity in a prime piece of real estate.
In college, they teach you location, location, location is everything in real estate. But when we think about retail, so much of it is driven by traffic.
But in recent years, the mall has struggled to keep stores open. With the closing of Sears and Boston store this past spring, that prime real estate is becoming more and more empty.
What can we do as a city to help the mall, help other businesses continue to be successful?
Turns out, there's some in town that could really use the extra space.
Right now, we have little kids practicing hockey at 9 o'clock at night. Or even 10 o'clock at night. Our league play goes till midnight.
At a board meeting Thursday night, Paul Benson and the rest of a special committee voted unanimously to make the mall the top location for a proposed sports complex with new rinks, courts, and fields. And while it would cost millions to build, they say the mall is planning on selling them the space they need for just $1.
If we can acquire a site for as close to zero as possible, then we have more money to focus on building the product for the citizens.
And while it's still a ways away from being a done deal,
They come here for the night for a Jets game.
Price is already thinking of how the empty space could turn into a moneymaker for the city.
And that travel is tied to these sports teams, these youth sports teams that travel the country or travel a region for contests, tournaments, whatever that may be. That provides occupancy in our hotels. They spend money at restaurants when they go out to eat and so forth.
Now, this proposed sports complex would end up going where the current vacant JCPenney sits right now. And while it's still a proposal and has some hoops to jump through, when it's all said and done, it would end up costing about $33 million. Now, there is a community forum this upcoming Wednesday at Janesville City Hall to get a little bit more feedback from the community. That'll be at 6 p.m.
The final day of the Father William Nolan trial in Jefferson County.
After several hours of deliberation, about 2:45 this afternoon, the jury handed down the verdict.
The jury finds the defendant, William A. Nolan, not guilty of sexual assault of a child under the age of 16.
Nolan had been facing 6 felony counts of sexual assault of a child, but was acquitted of those charges. Nolan says he has to talk to the diocese, but does want to return to ministry, but not on a full-time basis. Actress Felicity Huffman will serve a 14-day sentence for conspiring to pay $15,000 to falsify her daughter's SAT scores. That sentencing handed down this afternoon in a federal court in Boston. Huffman must report to prison October 25th. In addition, she also was given a $30,000 fine and must serve 250 hours of community service and 1 year supervised release.
Police have made an arrest for a fire that destroyed a synagogue in Duluth, Minnesota earlier this week. The police department will hold a press conference tomorrow, quote, regarding the arrest of the Adass Israel synagogue fire suspect and fire investigation conclusion. It burned to the ground overnight Monday. Another storm system is gaining strength in the Atlantic, which could eventually evolve into a hurricane. The system was upgraded to a tropical depression this afternoon. The National Hurricane Center says the depression is expected to become a tropical storm within the next 24 hours and will bring tropical storm force winds and heavy rainfall along the coast of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. Let's go to meteorologist Dave Caulfield now with a look at our first alert forecast. Dave?
Yeah, Charlotte, that storm, once it becomes a tropical storm, will be Tropical Storm Umberto. The good news is the track continues to shift a little bit more and more offshore every update we get, which is good news. Live look in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. The harvest full moon on Friday the 13th. Right now is behind some clouds, so we need to wait a couple of minutes for it to reemerge, but temperatures are in the low 60s in Madison. We'll call it partly cloudy skies, calm winds that do point comfortably in the mid-50s. Temperatures in some other spots in the upper 50s in Juneau and in Watertown, close to 60 in Janesville and Monroe, and 62 in Madison. Those wind speeds have calmed down significantly compared to this afternoon out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Day planner, I do think the clouds will move out of here in time for tomorrow morning, starting off in the lower 50s, and then highs will reach the mid 70s with mostly sunny skies on Saturday, but some changes could be on the way for early on Sunday with some showers and thunderstorms possible. We'll track those chances hour by hour in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. Grant County still cleaning up after the severe storm damage last night. One Woodman man worked through the night to save his home and his yard, which he says was underwater. Some schools were also canceled due to road damage that prevented buses from driving through the rural parts of town to pick up students. The Boscobel principal said he had never seen school get canceled from flooding before today. The mayor in Prairie du Chien declares a state of emergency after flash flooding there last night. No fatalities after that flooding, but Crawford County officials cannot yet confirm how many were injured last night. Flooding also has been reported in northeastern and southeastern parts of Wisconsin.
The Milwaukee Brewers will extend the protective netting at Miller Park for the 2020 season. They intend to add an additional 105 feet of netting on the first base side and 145 feet of netting along third base. The project comes after several people, including children, have been severely injured by foul balls in ballparks around the country in the last few years. For the first time since leaving Santa Barbara for a Labor Day weekend trip to the Channel Islands, the dive boat Conception has returned to the mainland. The wreckage was pulled back to the port this afternoon. Conception was salvaged from the bottom of the sea yesterday as investigators worked to determine how the boat caught fire, killing 34 passengers.
The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is expanding its reach to Japan. It could be pouring its own beers in time for the 2020 Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo. Brewmaster and co-owner Rob Labrelio says they're opening a small production brewery. It's in a city that's a 2-hour bullet train ride north of Tokyo. His relationship started with Japan 30 years ago when his brother lived and attended school there. Happening tonight, the 15th annual Rumba for Rainbow Celebrity Dance Challenge at Union South. First responders and several local news personalities, including our very own meteorologist Dana Fulton and Leah Linscheid, were also taking part. There's Leah. News 3 Now's Amanda Quintana and Jamie Perez also served as MCs tonight.
The Madison World Music Festival is back for its 16th year. Today and tomorrow, 10 performances will take place at Memorial Union and the Willie Street Fair. Artists come from around the world. Event organizers say the festival connects the community with music they may not have otherwise been exposed to. Still ahead tonight, your full forecast for the weekend, which includes a couple more chances for rain.
And later, week 4, high school football action, season highlights and scores. It's all coming up in Prep Mania. Well, did you see the moon tonight? We were trying to give you the best look we could of tonight's full harvest moon. We apparently have failed a bit. This is a live look. It is a full harvest moon tonight. It is Friday the 13th, of course, and the next time a full moon will coincide with Friday the 13th, it will be 2049. Go outside to get a better look anyway.
He won't be so stretched.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joining us. And Dave, we need some things to dry out over the next couple days.
Well, I think we'll get an opportunity for most of tomorrow, harvest moon or not, because temperatures will be in the mid-70s by the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine comes our way. There is a slight chance of a few showers and storms late Saturday into early Sunday. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Today, we were talking about the pretty windy conditions, especially by the afternoon. Maximum wind gusts of 35 to 40 miles per hour across southern Wisconsin due to that low pressure system to our north. Doppler track has been quiet today, thankfully, and needs to stay that way for folks, especially in Grant County and closer to Walworth and Rock counties for the next couple of days, so we can continue to dry out. Because look at these 5-day rainfall totals, just staggering numbers in some spots, like in Grant County, 7 to 8 inches of rain estimated over the last 5 days, and close to those numbers in portions of southern Rock County into Walworth County, and other spots not out of the woods either, because anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain estimated by radar. So there's that sliver of the full Friday the 13th harvest moon in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Honestly, the Capitol looking a little bit better than that celestial being in the sky. Almanac for today, temperatures in the low 70s, so about 2 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. So that Friday the 13th full moon is pretty rare. It's the first since 2000, and as Eric and Charlotte mentioned, the next opportunity that you'll have to see this on Friday the 13th is August 13th of 2049. So get out and enjoy, at least for a couple of minutes. This is technically a mini moon, so it's 14% smaller, but don't tell anyone. It's not that important. It still looks impressive once it gets out from behind the clouds. Temperatures are in the upper 50s and low 60s for tonight. High temperatures will actually be above normal as we head into the weekend and for early next week, with temps in the low 80s, a little bit more humidity. We'll dip into the low 50s for tonight with those clouds clearing overnight. Plenty of sunshine for tomorrow afternoon and highs in the mid-70s. Quick look at future track. Really not too much going on as we head into Saturday. A few clouds here and there with highs in the mid-70s. That changes a bit as we get into early on Sunday. This is our latest forecast model. Could show some more downpours possible early on Sunday. Really don't think we have too much to worry about there, but we'll keep a close eye for those shower and thunderstorm chances early on Sunday. And those temperatures in the low 80s to start next week. So it is Friday the 13th. Two people that are not superstitious, but a little stitious. Kevin Lewis and Melissa Kim coming at you with Prep Mania. Hit them with those highlights.
I can't really say I'm very stitious or superstitious. What about you?
I'm zero stitious.
Yeah, zero for me too. Sorry, Dave. Well, welcome to week 4 of Prep Mania, only on News 3 Now. I'm Melissa Kim alongside Kevin Lewis. And tonight, we start our game of the week on this beautiful evening of the harvest moon, which, by the way, is Korean Thanksgiving. For the occasion, it's a West Side battle in the Big 8.
So happy Chuseok.
Thank you.
Yes,
Good
you're
Korean
welcome.
there.
Yeah. Just want to make sure there's no weirdness going on. Okay, good. Highlights should be great. Friday the 13th, no nonsense. 2-1 Middleton taking on 3-1 Madison Memorial. Middleton had a 3-0 lead until Jason Cinetti going up top. Max Hazer wins the jump ball and goes 69 yards for the touchdown. 7-3 Spartans, same score. Cinetti's going to call his own number from close range and punches it in to make it 14-3 home team at the half. Cardinals ball. Drew Teff thinks about it, keeps it, scores. 2-point conversion, good. That cut the lead to 14-11. But less than 6 to go. Cinetti going to call his own number again. Fakes the handoff, keeps, scores. 28-11 the final. Jay Wilson, post-game time.
Memorial stays undefeated in the Big 8. Caden Reed's had 2 huge interceptions late. Everybody talks about offense all the time. This is a pretty good defensive club, isn't it?
Yes, sir. We like to pride ourselves on being a defensive team. We had a lot of great plays out there. Everybody played well, and we came out on top.
What is with Memorial? Last year, conference champions. This year, you're undefeated again. And really, it was a decade of tough times for Memorial football.
Yes, sir.
What's been the difference?
I got to thank Coach Harris. He changed the program around, changed the whole the whole culture, he likes to call it. And plus, we got a great group of guys, and it's been working out well.
And you just keep it rolling from here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving on week by week.
All right. Next week, another one coming up for Memorial. They stay undefeated 4-0. Back to you.
One loss in the Big 8 Conference could seal your fates. Verona looks like it has the goods to challenge for an unbeaten regular season. Madison West wanted to even its record at 2 at the Wildcats' expense. Verona fans in blue in the student section after a Verona fumble. Ezra Thompson trying to lead the Regents, but his pass is tipped and picked by Cale Rufinacht. And the Wildcats in business. Ensuing possession. Adam Becks looking left to Cole Zaromski, and the Wildcats take a 7-0 lead. Next possession. On 2nd and 7, Jackson Aker is going to get 38 for a touchdown. Verona wins 21-6. The Wildcats stay undefeated. 1st and 10 at Bree Stevens for Craig and Sun Prairie on the 13. Watch Eddie Bergman. Oh, catch side of the end zone. Tap the toes for the touchdown. Brady Stevens, rather. Then, 1st and 10, Stevens again. Over the middle to Dominic Lamphere for another touchdown. Sun Prairie cruises to a 39-0 win over Craig in week number 4. One other final from the Big 8 tonight. Madison East picks up a victory 28-9 over Beloit Memorial. And a Saturday game. La Follette travels to Janesville Parker tomorrow night.
Meanwhile, a big battle in the Badger North. Wanakee and Mount Horror-Barneveld both picked up their first conference wins last week. The #1 ranked Warriors hosting the Vikings tonight. Little marching band action there, little drumline action. We love it. Second quarter, Mount Horror-Barneveld back to punt. Then it's blocked by Connor Loy. Warriors fall on it in the end zone for the score. They're up big, 31-0. 2 seconds before the half, Wanakee's Caden Nelson pump fakes, throws it up to Isaac Schaaf for the score. Wanakee shuts out Mount Horror-Barneveld 44-0. You know, Kevin, I love a team with some swagger. Check out 3-0 Milton. They've got a turnover chain.
Turnover chain.
Visiting fellow Badger South rival Monona Grove. Opening drive here for the Silver Eagles. Handoff to Brady Killerlane. Dodges a few tackles, and he's in business. He's off. 74-yard touchdown, 7-0 Monona Grove. But the Redhawks answer right back. Jerry Jones up the gut.
Oh.
That one crossed the plane. I know, Jerry Jones, right?
How about
Tie
them
game.
Cowboys?
I know. Later, some special teams goodness here. Silver Eagles lose it. Luke has now recovered, so what time is it, everybody? Turnover chain time. Ensuing drive, check out this play. A little razzle-dazzle here. Kai Curl in the end zone. Milton wins a close one at 27-20. Oregon hosting winless Edgewood. Beautiful shot there. 14-0 Packers. Panthers rather. Packers, no. We pick it up there. Teague Sudsy. Waitzer his blocks, finds the end zone for the touchdown. 21-0 Oregon. Then it's Mason Grender with the ball. Takes the handoff. Goes 36 yards to the end zone for the score. Panthers with the shutout win, 35-0. DeForest starting their season off 3-0. They host the Portage Warriors. First quarter action. DeForest Trey Schroeder pitches it to Evan Armstrong. He cuts up the middle, heads to the sideline, and he gone. 41 yards to the house. Norski's up 6-0. Still in the first, Portage. They go back to pass, but DeForest, Devin Magley elevating, levitating over the offense for the interception. Takes it 24 yards. Very excited coaches there. Kind of got another shot. That's okay. We'll forgive you. Pick 6 there. Norskies, they're not done yet. Of course not. Schroeder in the shotgun rolls to his left, then decides to take it himself for the 3-yard score. DeForest shutting out Portage 61-0. Monroe handing Watertown its first loss of the season. Cheesemakers win 35-13. And Beaver Dam getting win #1 of the season, 35-14 there. Reedsburg handing Sauk Prairie its first loss of the season. And Stoughton moving on to 3-1 this year.
Columbus hosting Stratford. And the Tigers struck first, and they struck often. Teddy Redmond takes the handoff. Slow developing play, but you don't mind if it pays off with a 12-yard touchdown. And the visitors grab an early lead. I said they were just getting started. Matt Hendrick running left again. Another Stratford score. Tigers aren't messing around. They go to the ground, they go to the air. Max Schwabe to Vaughn Brett. Short score. And Stratford shuts out Columbus, 46-0. The final there. Lodi at New Glarus Monticello. Knights ball. New Glarus going to strike first. Mason Martinson in the shotgun. Connor Siegenthaler, one-handed catch. Very nice. 7-3 New Glarus on top. The lead would not last. Lodi answers. Colton Nicolay takes a handoff, finds pay dirt for the touchdown, and the Blue Devils strike again. Quinn Faust, shades of Brett Favre. Roll left, throw right. Just throw it hard and make it complete. Aiden Bilsey, the touchdown. Lodi beats New Glarus Monticello 44-7. The final there. Well, sit tight. The Brewers have one eye on the wild card, another eye on the division, and they had their eye on some long balls tonight. Brewers and some more football coming up next. And Wisconsin's the first FBS team since 1980 to score more than 100 points and allow 0 in its first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, now they get a very early bye week after a 2-0 start. Wisconsin's outscored opponents 110-0 so far, but that scoreline will likely shrink next week when a Big Ten play opens at home against Michigan. The players say they're looking forward to bigger challenges the rest of the way.
The atmosphere of games are a little different. You know, it's definitely a little bit more physical team. No knock on Central Michigan or South Florida, but just as far as depth-wise, in a Power 5 conference. But it's definitely going to be fun. We can't wait to show everybody, who we are.
Meanwhile, the Packers open up the Lambeau schedule Sunday against the Vikings. They play 5 of their first 7 at home, and quarterback Aaron Rodgers said he wished the home-heavy schedule came at the end of the season when the opposing team would have to deal with the cold. But they have to take advantage of home whenever it is.
We're going to have to get these early in the season to set ourselves up for some of those tough road stretches down, in the back half of the season. And, you know, we got a great team coming in, and it's going to be important for us to start fast, get the home field advantage going, you know, let our defense, you know, get going and rush the passer. And, you know, that starts with us doing our job on offense.
And now the Brewers, opening up a monster series with the Cardinals in St. Louis. The Crew sits at just 4 games back of the Cards in the Central Division. They're tied with the Cubs for the second and final NL wildcard spot. Drama!
Dun, dun, dun. And the Gateway City's scoreless until Paul Goldschmidt makes it not scoreless with the bases loaded. 30th home run of the season, a grand slam that made it 4-0. 5-0. Colton Wong always gets a big hit against the Brewers for some reason. Going opposite field, base knock, scores a pair. That made it 7-0. And then Goldschmidt would strike again. Taking Jimmy Nelson out, this time a 3-run job. Cardinals lead the Brewers 10-0 in the top of the 9th inning. The Cubs trailed the Pirates 4-0 after the top of the first. I emphasize the past tense. Nicholas Castellanos cuts the lead in half with a 2-run homer. Former Madison Mallard, class of 2016, Nico Horner, first Major League home run, gives the Cubs the lead. Anthony Rizzo has hit many Major League home runs. This one comes with the bases loaded. Cubs win, outscoring the Packers-Bears score 17-8, the final at Wrigley Field.
That is the truth. Well, thanks again, everyone, for making Prep Mania a success. Steffo, Brian, Kim, Dave, Jim, and everyone behind the cameras, Vernon, Dylan as well. Let's do it again next week.
And next week's game of the week, Verona at Sun Prairie, which could be a de facto elimination game in the Big 8 Conference. We shall see. One more break, and we are back.
Dave's here with the final check.
Yeah, skies will become mostly clear overnight, so hopefully those clouds won't obscure that Friday the 13th full harvest moon anymore. It will be cooler with temperatures falling into the lower 50s. 7 to 10 day forecast showing some summer-like weather on the way for the last 10 days of summer coming up. We're in the low 80s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with that humidity returning. Could have some thunderstorms roll through late Saturday into Sunday and late Wednesday into Thursday.
All right. Dave, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good and have a great weekend.